What is your favorite FNAF game? Because for me, it's none of these actually, it's this one. Yeah, I was including Fangames. Also, this guy's in second place too, and this one's in third. And shove this one in here somewhere. And also, I haven't really played this one, so this one's out of the question. But if I had to pick a single level out of any of these to be my favorite, it would probably be this one! I promise. All these games are my favorites for different reasons, but The Joy of Creation has always stood out to me as having the awards for the corniest voice acting,
Daddy, no! Oh my god,
the absolute best gameplay loops,
They made something great!
jump scares, what the frick, and direction in the series. Hey wait, I'll be right back, give me 7 years. Okay, I'm back, we got a new demo. If you didn't have a field day searching for this demo, as there are 4 other games with the exact same names, you'll boot up the game to the most polished menu screen in any game of all time I've ever seen ever. Do a quick opening segment that will for sure make more than complete sense as the full game is released and looked back on, and you're brought into this level. This presumably first night of the full game is a complete restructure and building on of the third night from story mode. The structure of this game is very different compared to the typical Freddy's formula. The goal of the game is to find Freddy on one of the 3 cameras and open the door in the direction he's standing and hit him with your flashlight. This will advance the hour of the night, and the night ends at not 6, but 12 a.m. But there are many things that will get in the way of that task. You'll have to simultaneously juggle between finding batteries in the room across 2 cabinets and 4 closets, replacing the main power every so often as it continuously drains, along with your flashlight, which also runs out of power after turning it on for like 7 times because that's how much a battery of this size can handle in real life. Keeping Foxy at bay on the cameras by looking at his eyes multiple times in a row to stun him. Keeping Bonnie off your camera's sight, otherwise he will destroy it. Also avoiding opening the door in the direction of Bonnie as to not cause him to do his famous punch. And also completely drain your flashlight power, causing more battery searching and replacement, while also avoiding a door with Foxy behind it. Uh-oh, Chica's here. It's time to pause what you're doing if you want to and find cupcakes in the drawers and cabinets. Did you get all that? No? Well, that's fine, because you aren't supposed to. As you will probably die very early as there's no tutorial, not even for the controls.
What do I press?
You'll be told what you died to and how to handle with it after each loss. This is what a lot of games do. Take Doors, for example. This can make for a slowly explained experience where progress is constantly being made, even with a loss. This also gives you time to perfect each system, and when you end up stringing them together, it is the most satisfying, constantly dreadful, and skillful gameplay experience in a FNAF game. Every single cycle in this game has to be dealt with in order to not align them all at once and end up having a near Foxy, looming Chica, dying main battery, and dead flashlight at the same time. This can be done by looking for and memorizing the current battery locations in the minimal spare time of the game while constantly wielding one, so the max amount of 2 spawned in are always at the ready. Dealing with Freddy as a priority as to advance the night faster and let his cycle reset so you can come back after whatever the other main priority is. Saving your battery searches and refills late game for when Chica arrives, double multitasking and filling your batteries and finding the cupcakes at the same time, partially getting Foxy away as to de-aggro him for a little bit so you can focus on Freddy first and then finish him off afterwards. And there's so much other tech and strategy that's still being found. Making mistakes is forgiven but can push you far back and make you work overtime to recover. Every cycle is fine-tuned to perfectly fit together and be used in tandem in multiple different approaches, except maybe ignoring the window Markiplier that makes your run 18 minutes long at the fastest. And speaking of night length, this night can be any length you want, but I think average will be around 12 to 15 minutes, which is not a short time. But this gives the night time to do what the Joy of Creation is perfect at. The Joy of Creation story mode has 5 nights, but departing from the typical FNAF formula once again, each night is completely different mechanically. To compensate, each level ramps up in difficulty across its lengthy runtime, and by the end creates an extremely stressful environment, with difficulty ramping up perfectly. As the player progresses, so does the level. Creating a fear of loss for progress is integral to the stress of these levels, and by the time the night is gonna end, you will have been going for so long that your locked-in meter will have skyrocketed to inhuman levels. This, in turn, makes the game scary. While no horror game can scare me anymore with a few exceptions, stress will get to anyone, which is a great horror factor. Being scary for the sake of being scary doesn't work anymore. This is what this night does so well, as about each and every cycle ramps up as the time goes on. Bonnie appears more often, Foxy takes more looks at to retreat, Chica spawns more cupcakes, and in turn it makes it harder to get Freddy at any given moment. All this is to not even mention the graphics and the jump scares. These jump scares are not only everything I want out of a death in one of these games, but this new remaster has styled them too with flashy lights and posterized frames, making them look a bit comic-like, if that makes sense. I have heard people complain about Nixon's games being too hard, but this is just not true. It is just this gameplay loop's 5 nights compressed into a single level, allowing for the difficulty to ramp up so effectively. But once you finally complete the night, the sense of satisfaction is worth it. You get this crazy looking ending cinematic, and the demo for the game is over. But that wasn't it, at least for me. What I realized replaying this game so many times while speedrunning is something that this game gets so incredibly right. Whenever you die, it is completely your fault. This game relies heavily on RNG sometimes, but it's never unavoidable without mistakes. This game is completely fair to the player, making speedruns not only incredibly well strung together, optimized, but also reliable for everything but the variations in Freddy's spawn times. From the game's graphics, to gameplay, to tension, to scares, to animation, to polish, this not game, but demo for a game has built the perfect resource management horror, or in other words, the perfect Fnaf level.